0, 1. Let's get started.
Here we are again. The other day I went to a Cars and Coffees at the mall. Early Sunday mornings, there's usually hundreds of cars there. It's a tough day to park in the spot. Cruising there the whole time, temperature staying at like 175 was perfect. I cruised through the parking lot looking for a spot for a few minutes. I overheat to 253 degrees, and all of a sudden a stream of pee comes out of the relief hole on my overflow, and I look like an idiot in front of hundreds of people. So I've always had overheating problems with this thing. I thought it was better. Guess it's not. So this radiator is probably 10 years old at least. It's got a lot of abuse and it just doesn't seem to be doing the job. We're gonna start with that. Problem is when you make a car like this and you have the turbo right up against it and you have all these fans and then you have this tubular radiator support, which you can't lift the radiator out from the top unless you take this bar out. But on the bar is my turbo mount. It's just so much stuff. So I think I'm gonna slide it out. I'm gonna cut that bracket off. I'm gonna take it out to the bottom. Let's see what happens. A ton of videos yesterday about taking the radiator out and all this stuff, but I lost all the footage. So I'll just catch you guys up. The old radiator had to go out the bottom, and then we had to make a new bracket because the old radiator had, let me show you. I had to cut this off. The old radiator had this, and it had mounting bosses here for bolts. This one doesn't because I didn't have them welded on. So we got the radiator out of the bottom. I made a whole new bracket, which you'll see videos of. And then today, I think I'm gonna cut this down, weld this on, just to kind of hold it like that. And then if this is welded on nice and tight, this radiator's not gonna move. And that's how I'm going to mount the top bracket. It's just gonna be just that. So that's what we will get done today. All right, I know I'm gonna get smoked for this, but I'm out of welding gas. So we're getting flux cord. What are you gonna do? It's just a bracket. Yes, I'm on a plastic table too. Good enough. No one's gonna see it. I know it's ugly. I know the weld is crap. I don't care. Flux core is like the sloppiest freaking weld. All right. Good enough. That's, oh yeah, that's pro. Call me for all your welding needs if you want to live life dangerously. Got the bracket on. It runs all underneath. It's over there. 1/8" steel holding up the radiator. Gotta mount the top and we're good. With all my precise measurements, I didn't even notice that the lower radiator hose is now blocked by the core support. So I'm gonna cut this bracket off, raise up the radiator a little bit, put some rubber between the bottom mount, and then we'll figure out the height and put this back in place. All right, I couldn't just shim it up. I cut it off, took the bracket off, I cut it again, and readjusted it. And the radiator's sitting nice and high. Actually, it's not even bolted in the top. And I mean, obviously it moves, but it's not moving as much as I thought it was going to. So I'm probably just gonna make a bracket from this to just go around here and hold it nice and easy. I cut this down. It's gonna fit in there, and it's just gonna hold the radiator back and forth. So ground it down, we're gonna weld it in. All right, that's on. Not the prettiest, but it holds. I just put little pieces of rubber in between the bracket, the tab on the radiator. I'm gonna get something a little nicer than that, but that's just in there for now. But the radiator is not moving. So I'm gonna hook up the overflow and the steam vent, fill it with water. Gotta purge the system again. So other than that, it's in. It's nice and tight. The brackets worked out. A lot more work than we anticipated. But of course, like I said, you do one thing on your car and you got to change it, and now you got to modify a million different things. So everybody looks at this and they're like, oh, it's fun and it's cool and I want a car like that. And then you realize it's a giant pain in the ass. All this work to go fast for a couple of seconds, and then it's broken the rest of the time, or everything just fights you. So don't be so quick to pull the trigger on building a car like this if you're not in the mood to have it broken 90% of the time. This thing sucks. Radiator is totally in, fans are on, everything looks good. I had it running, the temperature stayed about 175. Started creeping up a little bit. I think this thing's gonna need an electric water pump because I think this motor makes more heat than the stock unit can handle. So we'll see how this does. We're gonna go to the track tomorrow, so we'll have more footage for you guys tomorrow. Just to test and tune, there's no shootout or anything. And that's that. So the radiator's in. Hopefully it cools better. We'll see. I don't know. Probably not. Oh, and Bad Boy's rocking new shoes. Much better now. All right, see you on the next one.